The ball out in front. Not an easy throw on third down. You see late pressure there, right into the face, but he doesn't allow it to affect.
Spencer Rattler coming out of the pocket, slanging the cheese all over the yard like he had been doing it all his life. Dude, he was just dropping dimes all night. There's just not really much you can say.
Okay, was this the Spencer Rattler that was advertised?
Yeah.
This was him.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, 438 yards?
Bell was great. He had a great game. Their tailback, they went out running for a bunch of yards.
They did. They rushed for, I got it right here.
He stays in and gets to that pylon and scores the touchdown. There's the progressive pylon cam. Chris, he gets the touchdown in the opening drive here for South Carolina. Looked like he was
selling that deep ball. Go ball
came back.
Hendon Hooker drops back in the pocket, and he almost gets sacked. And he got loose. You know what I'm thinking right here? Hey, look, I mean, this is the guy that we all know and love.
Yeah.
He comes down, makes a big play. The offensive line they had kind of took care of business up front, but South Carolina, they got after him a lot.
Fastest tempo in college.
See, I mean,
they run fast. That was a big run.
He's gone.
That's small. Small's good back.
He rushed for 152 yards.
Small have on the night?
80.
75 yards.
Well, let me ask you something, Matt.
That was it.
Obviously, their offense wasn't an issue.
Look at that move right there to get him into the end zone.
Yeah, they couldn't. I mean, they scored and they
just
scored late.
Keep up with it.
It was 63 to
31.
They beat them by 30. Look at this pass. Dude dropped a dime. I'm telling you, man, Spencer Rattler just played out of his mind. He had one of those games.
6 touchdowns.
6 touchdowns. Well, where's this guy? Look at this pass. Look.
Touchdowns.
It's like he just, that's perfect.
And that really wasn't horrible coverage. It's just a perfect pass. Look at that. Oh, my
He even
gosh.
He touched it.
9 times out of 10, that's broken up. Is that Rattler? What? Are you kind of happy for him? Because he hadn't done one.
I follow him on Netflix. Maybe they do.
And second back at the 30. It was Tonka Hemingway.
Two big guys up front. See Tennessee playing 4-man front there.
Oh my gosh, here he goes again. You gotta be kidding.
This happened all night. They never stopped. In the fourth quarter, this is the first quarter. We ain't even at halftime. We're not even in the second quarter.
But leaves McDowell open, makes a man miss, touchdown South.
And when this happened, it makes it 21-7. We was like, okay, I believe. I don't think Tennessee's got nothing for them. It's 21-7.
No, well, when it was 28-14, when I changed my mind.
They answered every time they went down the field. They scored. Tennessee.
They had no punts.
Tennessee had no answer for them.
And there Tennessee comes right back, 28-14.
That was a good play, and I thought, okay, now we're going to see.
See, I thought Tennessee was going to win when it was 35-21.
Yeah, because 2 minutes, 5 minutes left in the third quarter, it was a close game again.
35-31, yeah. And then they finished with 63.
That's good defense, too. He gets his hand up.
Timmons a good receiver. I don't think nobody doubts Tennessee's offense. But their defense ain't as bad as what happened yesterday. South Carolina was just hot.
35-24. That started the third quarter.
Oh, that was a nice play right there.
That's what they do. Those are things that's what we're used to seeing.
Watch on the back end right here. He's yelling, help, help, I need help over here. And with all that confusion, you end up losing.
Well, let me ask you something.
Tight end right down
I mean, you know football. You've watched it a lot.
They try to stretch the lead here. Stop Tennessee's
momentum.
Okay, we knew Tennessee wasn't great on defense.
Well, their defense is bad.
But 63, I mean, against South Carolina, what in the world happened?
Their defense is bad.
What a night for the QB. They were embarrassed.
That was it. When that happened, that was ball. He scrambled around the backfield, run around in circles.
Did they just not get a rush? Was it the O-line for South Carolina?
Yeah. This Nolan kid, who the heck is he? They put him there running Wildcat, son. He was great. He's running in right here, just running Wildcat.
Watch him come down right there. Once he commits
Heck, he threw for 15 yards and rushed for 21.
Who's that center? Just run Wildcat and throw it too. They can do both. Look, they run the same play.
Catch is made by Squirrel White, wrestled down.
Squirrel White. They run the same play. They did. They run the same play.
This is Logan.
Did him comment on either?
He's at work.
He's got his phone.
Yeah, but he's a K9 cop. Let's see what
they run the same play, Dean. 2 or 3 exactly the same play 2 or 3 times. The same play.
But Sean, that's not what I understand what you're saying. Their secondary's been suspect all year. But what happened yesterday was beyond just being not good.
Yes, Miss Carolyn, we do. We talk about Piedmont every week. Absolutely. We know.
Gosh,
and Winston, they watch. And I know Yellowstone's fixed to come on, so they had to get off.
Yeah.
Because they watch Yellowstone. But yes, we enjoy always talking about Steve, and he does nobody has to talk. Nobody has to build up what Steve's done over there.
No, we do it.
Sean, the Vols defensive backfield has been upset. Oh, yeah. They're ranked 108th.
And you said that earlier in the year, but I'm asking you two, this was beyond bad.
The wheels fell off. Look at Dallas, Minnesota today. Sometimes the wheels just fall off. And all of a sudden, what's so impressive is about Alabama, they have not been blown out in forever. Yeah. Even as bad as Alabama is, they haven't been blown out like this.
No.
They beat themselves in the Tennessee game. Now, the refs give Tennessee, I don't care who's on here, what you want to say, the refs give Tennessee about 4 or 5 calls that should not have been called. That interference call down there at the end zone, he runs it out and he throws the flag when he's 50 yards down. No, that's garbage. But the other 10 or 12, Alabama sure enough earned every penalty. Offsides.
Yeah. I didn't like that pass interference, that Kool-Aid interception.
Sloppy, bad football. Hats off to Coach Beamer. Look, here's what we do a lot, and we do this a lot, and I do it too. I'm guilty of this. Well, just, Tennessee's bad and their defense backfield. We know they've been really bad. We need to start congratulating. What about we congratulate
South Carolina?
Yeah, hey, they just had a good game.
Maybe they did.
Beamer was ready. Obviously, he had been prepared. And
because I'm sorry, Tennessee has not been done like this.
And Bale just had a day. What was his passes for and against?
30 for 37.
Golly, man, that's amazing. But see, that's what it takes to catch a team like this limping around. And I remember, we all three here, everybody else watching, Coach Short and everybody, remember when South Carolina beat Bama?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and who threw the ball? He was about the same. What was he like?
Garcia?
He's like 25 for 30 on the day.
He had a good game.
He had some stupid game. He couldn't be stopped. When you get a quarterback, he gets in some kind of zone, man.
Well, I think what we got to remember here, and I'm saying it, I know I asked the question, but I should have been thinking. These guys are top-notch athletes.
Everywhere.
Both anything sides can happen. Anything. These receivers for South Carolina, we've never seen anybody like these guys.
Not Tennessee.
No, none of us have. Just around here watching ball. Not much.
No.
And they're just excellent athletes.
Sure, yeah.
And at any given time, they can take somebody out.
Yeah.
What did Coach Short say there?
Let's see.
We can move on to another game if you want to.
Let's do.
But I don't know. That was definitely the talk of the day.
Yeah, it is. What's Tennessee going to do? And how the playoffs, how is that going to change? It's just going to move everybody up.
I think they're done.
Yeah, they're out.
Yeah, they're out. Well, we know they are, and Alabama is too. So, I think.
Yeah, the only way Bama would have had a chance would have been TCU would have had to lose the game.
All right, moving on to Georgia and Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
This was a great defensive game.
It was.
Great defensive game.
Here's what I'm curious about. Now, a lot of people
maybe his knee
always
went down
want to talk about
to retrieve the ball. At any rate, whistle stop play inside their own 3.
These games where there's not a lot of high scoring, Levis coming out of the back of his own end zone. First of the game, make a big play down the sideline. I thought, man, they're going to make this game. It was 3rd down. But Levis just can't stay healthy. Rodriguez,
he had a tough day.
He had some times. He had moments of running the ball.
He's good. Georgia's defense is good.
Well, they are. But when are we going to just have to – a lot of these people kept saying, well, if you can't score a lot of points in a football game, then how good are they? Or
But they're not giving up.
The number one team in the country only scored 16 points and beat not a great Kentucky team.
No, they're not unbelievable.
I mean,
but look what they did here. They held Rodriguez to 51 yards. Kentucky rushed for 89 yards. Levis 20 for 31, 206. Stetson only had to throw for 116. Kenny McIntosh was the big 143 guy.
Here's the problem again. Georgia fans, I know we got Georgia people watching. Bennett didn't throw a touchdown again Saturday.
No, he didn't have a big game.
God,
But they rushed for 247.
That's against Kentucky. You put them in these playoffs, that's not going to work. See, Georgia run the ball good. They had a pretty good day running the ball.
Run it very
What did they have?
247.
247
on 46 carries.
See that right there? Man, you talking about repeating? Is that going to work against? Maybe Ohio State's defense is not really good. Is that going to work on them? I guess.
That's
Michigan.
the thing. I can't get a read on anything.
How good's Michigan?
Heck, Georgia may gain 560 yards against Michigan.
How good's Michigan? Is their defense going to be able to handle anything?
Michigan gave up a lot of yards yesterday. I wasn't impressed. I mean, it was a good defensive game. I see what you're saying. It's Georgia. Ohio State's going to be better on offense than Kentucky.
Yes. That's going to get him in trouble. You cannot have a day where you don't throw. He's had many games where he has not thrown a touchdown.
So what you're basically saying against Georgia, Kenny McIntosh can't be your go-to guy. It's got to be McIntosh and Bennett.
Yes, and
Bowers.
McConkey and Bowers. They got to. You're talking about trying to repeat as national champion.
McConkey is such a good football player.
And with a team that's very depleted last year from the.
Look at that.
From the 16 players they lost.
Yes.
In the first round.
I do not think they will win it. I obviously think they're going. I think LSU could beat them. I do.
And I talked to Zach this morning about that, and there may be a lot of people that.
I didn't say they would. I think they can. And Kentucky has some goal line stands. Kentucky's good on defense.
Yeah.
But I don't think
getting the ball back right here. They come out. Look, it's 16-0. In the fourth quarter, you think, well, they could score twice. You think they could, but they couldn't. Once they get down there, look, they got a 6-man front. And he just bounces it, runs up each and out here. And that's what South Carolina did. Whenever the guys got the ball, their whole lineman would just hit him and push the tailback over the line every time. And Levis just can't stay healthy. He gets hurt a lot. That's a good pass.
That was a good one. Did you hear what Nestor said on it? I thought that was a dying duck. Him and Gary just say some stuff. They just say some stuff. They're funny. I don't hate Gary as bad as everybody else. That looked great.
That's it, yeah. One time. Georgia had one slip up.
They don't give up much.
Georgia had one slip up.
Ohio State's probably going to score at least 21 on you. At least.
I'm just not sure about how all that's going to play out. TCU Baylor, that's the other game. That since we're talking about the top four ranked teams.
Wow.
29-28. Dugan winds up throwing for 327 yards, touchdown and a pick.
Let me go to that.
It's 24 for 35, and they sneaked one out. We picked them to. We had.
I think you had. Did you have? No, I mean, you called it. You said Baylor might upset them, which they nearly did.
I wound up going with TCU because how they had played the week before.
Yeah.
See, Baylor's just kind of slipped down and slipped down and slipped down.
I tell you, the main thing I was impressed with, which we've talked about, is the final play of the game when they run that kickoff. That was impressive. 16 seconds left. They run their field goal team out there and got that kickoff.
Yes.
To me, that was just mind-boggling that they did. I thought they were beat.
Tennessee has just not learned how to handle success yet. It's a process. Sometimes it takes time and experiences. Yeah, it is. It's a big part of it. I have no idea what is going on over here.
YouTube just cut us off. Okay. That usually does that after an hour, doesn't it?
No.
Oh, does it not?
I never had that happen. I'll go over there and see what's going on. But, yeah, go ahead about the TCU.
Well, just a field goal team. I mean, that was just crazy. 16 seconds left. They run the field goal team out there and kick it.
Oh.
I mean, I thought they were done. You did too, did you not?
Oh, yeah.
When they said, "Oh God, they got to hurry up and get out there," dude, they all must have just been standing there.
I thought there's no way.
That was impressive.
Yeah, I thought there ain't no way.
But who is TCU going to play in the Big 12 championship? Is my question.
You'll have to look on.
Is it going to be Kansas? If it's Kansas State, they got their hands full.
I think it will be.
Because Kansas Big 12 standings.
YouTube. You are live. Edit. Yes.
No, we're live.
It says we was.
Big 12 standings, football.
Looks like Alabama of the old. They show up in the big games and limp through the easy ones. Yeah, they're just not good this year. That's all it is. I mean, it ain't nothing.
Just a second.
They're just not elite.
The top two teams TCU's going to have to play Kansas State. I'm sorry, Matt. That is a tall order. I do not think they beat Kansas State.
Yeah, that's who they're going.
Kansas
State
playing amazing football. I said yesterday, and I was doing it as a joke, that Florida State and Kansas State were playing better than anybody in the country.
No, we're still on YouTube. Maybe
okay,
it may have dumped you.
Something happened there.
Yeah, it may have dumped your feed or something. That does happen sometimes.
But yeah, I'm going to go on and predict that Kansas State beats TCU and knocks them out of the Final Four in 13 days.
Tune into their radio show Wednesday from 6 to 10. They're having a Thanksgiving extravaganza with all 6 of the guys there at one time to talk about sports and who knows what. Coach Short at. Tell them again, Coach Short, where it's at. It's not.
Do what?
It's $9.90 on Facebook. You can watch Coach Short on their radio station.
He got it back. Coach Short.
God's country, so it is. 90.9 FM. Just type in God's Country on your Facebook in the search, and it'll pull it up, and you can go through it.
Okay, we're good. Coach Short, does Kansas State? Do you think Kansas State upsets or beats TCU? They all play West Virginia or Kansas. They will play Kansas.
Yeah,
okay.
They got Kansas State.
It's gonna be Kansas State.
That's gonna be a heck of a show.
Sean, what do you think? Kansas State over TCU? I think so. Dugan, what a game.
I'm not. Look, here's the thing. I'm not picking the same thing again. Some people are just winners and some are losers. Some people just win, and TCU hasn't lost. There's no reason for me to pick against them. Yeah. That's why I picked Baylor 2 weeks ago to beat them, remember?
You did.
But, you
said it was an upset alert. Yeah, you didn't really say they were.
Well, I mean, they had a good – but what happened to Baylor? Losers lose and winners win, and Duggan's just a darn winner.
Yes.
I mean, is he not? Has he not won all the games they put in front of him? Yes, they're close. But, man, let's go back and talk about Bama, 09 teams.
Oh, I know. A lot of them were close.
Auburn, are you kidding me? They played in overtime. 2 overtimes like Kentucky that year. Are you joking?
Yeah, they barely beat Tennessee 12-9.
So
Auburn with the last 2 minutes left. Julio Jones got a touchdown. Upchurch got the touchdown.
So sometimes these teams that just find a way to win, look out.
Yeah. I mean, I think Kansas State can beat them, but doing it's a different thing.
They can beat them. I agree.
I don't know what to.
59-24 Tulane, Green Wave over SMU. Ohio State, Maryland. Let's talk about that in a little bit.
43-30. Harrison and Egbuka with a big day again.
Now the score was really at the end there. It was 33-30. But they scored late on that last play. He hits 2 up. Well, his little brother from the back, and the ball flips up in there, and Ohio State scored no time on the clock.
Okay.
After they're fixing to drive down 2. They could have won the game. They were up 6. Ohio State had just kicked another field goal to go up 6.
Really?
Just had. And they kicked the ball off. Maryland gets the ball, and they have to get the ball down close to the end zone. And first play, he rolls out, and the guy hits his arm, and the ball goes out.
How many yards did Ohio State have? How many yards did Ohio State end up with? 401.
240 and 160.
400. You know what impresses me about Ohio State is no matter who they put at running back, they do well. And it wasn't Henderson or Williams yesterday. It was a guy named Holden, right?
Yeah, Hayden. Dylan Hayden.
Dallas, yeah, Hayden.
Dallin Hayden. 146 on the ground. Yeah.
But Harrison and Egbuka, wow.
82 yards, and Harrison only had 68 yards on 5 catches. They neither didn't. One of them had touchdowns. They just didn't play. I mean, they just, you know.
You think they're going to spring it? Jigba on us in the semi?
Yeah.
You think he's going to be playing?
I think they've just been holding him all year. I'm just telling you the truth. That's just what I think.
Well, he's great. There's no doubt.
TCU is the Cincinnati last year. Yeah. No, sir, I have not forgot about you. I don't have any shirts. I usually don't get a lot of older shirts during this time of year for in the end of football season. But when we do, I'm definitely got you, bro. Trust me, I got you. And ESPN runs ads. See, 12 minutes ago, it's 33-21.
Yeah, I know, and they run that.
Maryland runs this ball back. That changed the game. 28-33. They didn't score again. Ohio State goes down. They hold them to another field goal.
I know.
It's 36-28. And then Maryland's going to come out there and almost, go down the field and score to win the darn game again.
I'm not sure about Ohio State, man. I'm just really not. I'm not sure that they beat Michigan Saturday.
I'm not either.
Where's it at?
It's
at Ohio State. It'll
be at Michigan, I think.
I'm just not. I'll pick it when we pick, but I'm not sure. And I think old Coral's a little banged up too for Michigan, so that'll make a difference. I really can't.
They got 71% chance Ohio State to win this one. It's at Ohio State.
Yeah, I'll have to go with them since it's there.
J.J. McCarthy, 2,000 yards passing, 165 for 247. Stroud's 204 for 307. 3,000 yards, 35 touchdowns, 4 picks. Sounds like a pretty good Heisman candidate. It does.
Who?
CJ.
Yeah, he is. I think it's him, Coral Williams. But who will win it? We'll find out Saturday. It probably depends on what happens Saturday.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good game. I look forward to that one for sure. USC receivers AP top 5 rankings since 2017. Let's talk about that in a little bit.
What a game!
Now I got to watch a lot of it. USC moved into the top 5 from the Associated Press poll Sunday for the first time in 5 years. Number 2, Ohio State received the other first place vote. Michigan at number 3 again, followed by TCU. Georgia still at number 1. And finishing out at, these are the AP polls, 5 USC, 6 LSU, 7 Clemson, Alabama 8, Tennessee 9, and Oregon at 10. What other SEC teams have we got to talk about?
My gosh.
North Carolina comes down to 18 after their loss to Georgia Tech, making the Clemson game and North Carolina game not be as valuable.
No, it will not.
Ole Miss 8-3 at 20, and Texas 24, 7-4 on the year. Coastal Carolina 9-1, ranked 23rd.
They're good. They had their game canceled yesterday over the tragedy at
Lincoln Riley's first season USC coach has produced one of the best turnarounds in the country, with the Trojans going from 4 wins to 10 in the regular season. He'll probably get a big splash for Coach of the Year. However, I would like to go over here to this game. Let's talk about let's see if they put them on here. Sure they did. No, I bet they didn't. Let's see here. Utah, and I don't see them on there at all. Where is it at? Well, anyway, Vanderbilt.
Wait, this is about this stuff here.
Todd's popular tonight.
No, it's about this. About USC playing without their best running back.
Vandy football. Well,
Vandy beat Florida.
Here, everybody, we can all talk to them.
I don't think they want to.
Don't want to be on the page?
No.
Well, that's weird.
Well, they just sent me said that USC's best running back didn't play. Yes, Vandy did beat Florida
24-31.
31-24. Wow, 2 big wins in a row.
Yeah, Mike Wright, 10 for 16, 100 yards. It looks like they have enough to get it done. 122 yards rushing for Davis, and combined of receiving, the guys have plenty of receiving yards. Looks like about a little over 100, for receiving.
Just a shock. I was just shocked by
5
it.
and 6 on the year.
Shocked.
Coach of the year.
Possibly.
Why not? When's the last time? It's been
Florida and Kentucky back to back. Teams with winning records.
It's been years since they've, done that. They can, they still got another game, next week though.
They could be bowl eligible.
But they're gonna have to. Beat Tennessee.
Oh well, yeah. Well, if they do that, he will get Coach of the Year. But I don't think they will. That's Saturday, right?
Yep.
Golly, but Florida. Did you expect them to beat Florida?
No way. That just don't make any sense.
I didn't expect them to beat Kentucky either.
No. And here's another one.
I'm gonna look at the stats on that game.
Go ahead and look at that. I want to mention this right here. I don't know what in the world's going on. Please, somebody tell me. Is Lane Kiffin? Is he already a done deal to go to Auburn? Or what? 42-27. Are you kidding me? They scored 21 unanswered toward the end of the game to make kind of a push, a comeback. Jackson Dart, 240 yards. They wound up rushing 463.
They had 700 yards, Matt, and lost.
Throwed for 240. Who has 700 yards offense and loses the game?
I've heard that was the first time in 26 years that somebody had 700 yards and lost.
Well, I guess when you only have
how many yards did they give up?
Scheme Young is the only one that decided to play football. He had 10 tackles, and Sistrunk, he had 7. He had 7 tackles.
700 yards. Of course, Rocket Sanders. Look what he did.
232. So
leading rusher in the SEC.
The defensive line up front just decided not to play for Ole Miss. They must have got drunk the night before. I don't know what's going on. Receiving corps had 168.
Yeah, Jefferson didn't have to do much. They won this game easily. It was 35-6. And if I'm not mistaken, did Judkins and
J.J. rushed for almost 50 and throw for 170.
Didn't Judkins and Evans rush for 200?
Mm-hmm. 214 and 207.
When's the last time that happened? Anybody did. When's the last time 2 backs on the same team?
And what's the problem with why is this kid? He played at Pike Road. We watched him play in state game, and we talked about him last year.
Mm-hmm.
How?
He was not recruited heavily. Look
How
at his
he
yardage.
got out of the state? How?
1385.
Gus Malzahn and Nick Saban are to be striped with a little old switch and that little end on it. You leave a little leaf on the end of it where it swacks you real good. Both of them aren't have their legs switched. Are you joking? 5'11", 220. He played at Pike Road. Bo and him covered. He went down there to Pike Road and covered these guys. He went down there and interviewed some of these guys last year.
Yes, I remember that. And and I'm not taking nothing away from. He's done more at Ole Miss. He rushed for 1,500 yards at Pike Road. He's rushed for 1,400 at Ole Miss. Is that why?
5.
Did they look at numbers and not think much about him?
I don't know how I don't know how this guy gets out of the state of Alabama. That's the
Quishon Judkins.
That's the questioning part to me.
Wow.
No idea how that happened.
1385.
By the way, the most famous person from Andalusia is Barbara Gant and her cooking show. In case no one else said it. Okay.
Robert Ory was the answer I was looking for.
Yeah.
But we found out that too. Ooh, they're getting
Miss Carolyn said
that
this lady had a cooking show.
Well,
I do love cooking. Speaking of cooking, man, we fix to get off here.
Well, Matt, we got to talk.
We're gonna do our picks for next week, and
let's talk about our in-state people. What do you think?
Yeah.
Auburn dominated.
I'm just not. You can see I'm ready to. You talk about Auburn, Bama. I'm just disgusted.
Well, they're just running Bigsby and Hunter. That's all Cardinals doing.
Just a joke.
Bigsby and Hunter.
They don't want to be. If they don't want to be out there, then they just need to. They don't need to play the rest of the season. They need to forfeit the Iron Bowl and just go and let Auburn have the win.
Did you not think they looked good yesterday?
No.
It's 17-0 at half. Bryce ended up having good numbers. Jason McClellan.
They didn't even. They punted the first series. It was 14-0. About 5 minutes left before half.
Yeah.
14-0 against Austin P. And the guy, the little man from the Monopoly game on the side of their helmet.
Yeah. D2 or 1AA.
Jacksonville State plays them for homecoming.
Yeah.
You got the best coach that's ever coached a game of college football. That's all you can do. That's the best you got. No, I ain't been happy with them since probably about game 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I just,
They're playing well.
They're just not. They're not. They don't care. They just show up and they just go, and they're so good they could just goof off and win football games. And when they play somebody else, it's just about as good as them, and they just get lazy and they just want to get a bunch of flags. They lose games.
Yeah.
Should have lost A&M.
Oh yeah, you just think they're an unmotivated,
Yeah.
not to a certain extent, an unmotivated bunch.
Yeah, you can see. I mean, we're gonna talk about them, but I don't know. I'm just not interested in Alabama football. They're just. And I'm not being like a sore loser. I mean, I'm a fan of college football in general. I like all college football. But a team like, I just see them talk about Maryland. At least they tried.
They did try.
Yeah, Auburn, hey, hats off to Cadillac. They played a good game.
They going to get that job?
No. What was Auburn's?
Auburn rushed for 247 yards. And that's what I'm looking at right now. And Cadillac and Hunter combined for 219. But what they did was they ran the ball.
Well, that's what
they didn't throw much.
That's what Cadillac's been doing.
I mean, look right here, Matt. Let me read this to you. Auburn, they wasn't on that because it's top 25. Auburn football.
Yeah.
All right, 41. Okay, I got it right here. He threw 19 times. They ran it 40. And that's probably what you need. He threw for 122 yards, and they rushed for 256. I said 246. 256. And Bigsby 110. He's getting close to 1,000 again.
When you talk about just being able to run a fade route, and he ran it inside, and you're talking about
Western Kentucky, Western Kentucky beats Austin P.
Yes, definitely.
So,
Definitely. Auburn's playing fired up. Are you worried about Saturday? Just be honest.
Yeah.
You are a little bit.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be something like that. They're just not. They don't care about playing football right now. Anderson or Bryce is hurt, and there's no running game, and nobody decided to recruit no tailback, so let the best tailback in the state get out of the state and go to Ole Miss. We had to get a kid from the portal that's a tailback that's a leading receiver on the team, and since 2011 or 12, Alabama has not ever had a receiver under 700 yards. Never. Well, guess what? Leading receiver this year has got about 500.
500. Burton. 500.
Joke. That's a joke. That's terrible. The offensive coordinator should have been fired in the middle of the season. Somebody, an assistant, could go through. You could finish the season with an assistant, that kind of crap. They were talking about 20 years of. It's just they're not. And Saban's not going to hold them accountable. He just keeps making excuses for them. And, they're playing hard. And, no, they're not. You lost. Yeah, you can play hard when you lose and if you play to a better team, but I don't think Tennessee or LSU is better than them. I don't. I just don't.
I don't think LSU was. Tennessee might have been at that time.
They're the same. That's the same players lined up against South Carolina, and they got smoked.
Well, that's true.
They got smoked like an old pickle laying in the floor of Logan's restaurant. It's bad.
Yes, that was a beat.
Terrible beatdown. And Bama couldn't muster together. Spencer Rattler is better than Bryce Young. In what universe? None. No Twilight Zones that I've even watched in the last when I was 8 years old in 1985.
I don't think so.
It's a joke. And if Auburn comes out here and jumps on Bama like this right here, 7-0, and it's the first, and it's going in the second quarter, if it's 7-0, don't be surprised.
I won't be.
Don't be surprised. There's no reason for this to happen.
The best thing Alabama's got going for them in this game is where they're playing. People say, nah, it don't matter.
No, it does for them.
Yeah.
If it's at Auburn, I would just about say they probably don't win this one.
Yeah, at Alabama, it makes a difference playing at home in college football.
Maybe they'll play inspired because it's Auburn. Maybe they have some guts left in them. Maybe they have some kahunas hanging in their jock straps left.
Yeah.
Because they just don't. They've been called out by Bo Scarborough, Reggie Ragland. All the old guys have called out the players. So I look for the Iron Bowl to be a good game next week, and I think Cadillac's doing a good job. And
he is
sticking to his guns. He's running the ball.
They're running it. That's 2 weeks in a row. Hunter and Bigsby have gone over 100.
Ashford's terrible.
2 weeks. Well, he's just not throwing much.
He's just not a quarterback.
Yeah. But, I mean, he's sticking with him.
Jake Crane on Crane Company on Twitter last night said, Ashford's just a Wildcat quarterback. And I said, up here, there he's from Auburn. He grew up that area. I said, well, up here in North Alabama, we call that a tailback. Like Cornejo, just take a Wildcat snaps.
Just take a Wildcat snap.
He's not a quarterback.
Well, it'll be an interesting game for sure. You ready to do some picks? Or how we do this week?
Let's see here. Let's get on this one over here, Dean. Let's see here. We have.
John said they did Ohio State. It is at Ohio State.
Yeah, I read that a while ago. Should be a good game. Georgia Tech fumbled around and wound up beating North Carolina in a close game. Didn't like that.
17-0. 21 unanswered, Matt.
I did not like that at all.
21. And, I was kidding around with somebody. I said North Carolina might get in this Final Four. But they're not now.
Daniels 22 for 29 against UAB. 300 yards and a touchdown as they get ready to go play the Dogs December the 5th. We talked about, mentioning that, North Carolina is going to play the ACC.
Which will be Clemson.
Yeah, and Clemson rattles and rumbles around a 40-10 win over a stumbling, bumbling Miami Hurricanes. Oogie Gadoogie.
Oogie Youngale. He ran for a lot of yards yet.
Yeah, had 217 throwing and ran for 90 yards and a touchdown. DJ Oogie Doogie. And Penn State, 55-10 over Rutgers. That's how you're supposed to win a game. We talked about Arkansas. K-State and West Virginia. If West Virginia goes down, that puts them at 4-7 on the year. They're not playing nobody for nothing.
48-31. How about Oregon, Matt? 20-17 over Utah. Good game.
Bo Nix.
Hurt.
He is hurt.
Played hurt.
287 yards. And he had like -3 rushing.
I keep hearing he may get the invite to.
Think so?
That's what they were saying last night. Him, Corum Williams, and Stroud.
Burton had 128 for Bama the other day.
Yeah, he had a big game. Florida State still rolling. Jeez. 49-17. Washington. Notre Dame. Boy, they're playing good, aren't they?
Yeah, that's going to make a lockup for the next game. They'll play. They'll have USC.
That's going to be a good game. Where's it at?
Out there. USC.
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, let's get into.
All right.
We'll talk about the games that we went through. About most of the games this week. Auburn, Georgia, Bama.
No, Matt, just quickly, Oklahoma did beat Oklahoma State.
Terrible.
UCF got upset.
28-0.
And that's pretty much.
And Oklahoma never scored again.
Never scored again.
But they held on to win. How's that happen? How do you not score in 3 quarters?
And still win.
Well, I guess you scored 28 in the first
28.
quarter.
That's what you got to do.
UAB at LSU. Of course, we both had LSU. That's an easy pick. TCU at Baylor. We both had TCU.
2-0.
We both had Georgia.
3-0.
Utah and Oregon. I liked the Utes. I missed on that one.
They had their chances to win it. That was not a bad pick. We both won USC. We both won Kansas State.
Yeah. And for the next
it's pretty good.
Top rankings, I guess USC's still going to hang around and be in there.
They're going to be at 5.
I'm assuming Michigan beats Ohio State, so who's going to be 4?
You think Michigan will beat Ohio State?
Yeah. So who's going to be the number 4 in there.
Well, it'll be USC, but USC's going to have to play Oregon.
1 plays 4, and 2 plays 3. This was just my guess. So, I could assume USC would still be 4. Georgia's going to be 1. Michigan at 2 after they beat Ohio
TCU,
State.
3.
TCU be 3.
I guess. But, USC still got to play Oregon. Michigan still got to play Ohio State.
Yeah, if USC comes out.
You got Clemson.
Well, no, they're 10.
I know.
They're
but they've only got 1 loss. They're going to put a 2-loss team in over a 1-loss team.
They're not going. They're not going to move up 8 spots, 9 spots.
I wouldn't think so either.
Bama's ahead of them.
Yeah, they're going to put Bama in over Clemson if they have to.
I mean, I don't know who else is in there.
I don't know. Tennessee's out. We suspect Alabama's out. I'm telling you, there's still a lot that could go on. Yeah, Clemson's 9, Alabama's 8, USC 7, LSU 6. But if LSU loses, if LSU beats Georgia, they may be in.
That's what'll cause a mess. I don't see them putting out a SEC champ. There's no way.
No, 2 losses though.
But if you win the conference, they're not going to put you out. What they may do though is put Georgia at 4, being a 1 loss. I mean, put Georgia at 3 and put LSU at 4.
I don't think the committee wants to put in a 2-loss team. I don't think they're going to start that.
I don't think they're going to have a choice because if you're going to kick out the best conference in college football,
They may do one of them deals where they still put Georgia in and not LSU. I mean,
you're not going to lose your conference and go in over and not put in the team that just beat you. That wouldn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, I know, but
that wouldn't.
They still have to put in a 2-loss. They don't want to do that.
They may have to. I mean, what other choice they gonna have? I mean, what's you gonna? I mean, you gonna put in a?
Well, Ohio State or Michigan's gonna lose a game. TCU may lose a game.
USC's lost to Utah.
USC might get in. They still got to play Oregon, though, and Notre Dame. I mean, I'm sorry. That's going to be tough to get through.
If they do that, they'll definitely be
Oh, yeah.
I
would think.
They would be 4 and TCU would be 3. But TCU's got to beat Kansas State.
Well, what if this Michigan-Ohio State goes down to the wire? 31-28.
They ain't going to do it because they're both in the same conference. It'd be like Alabama and LSU battling for. That's not going because one of them's going to play Illinois for the Big Ten, right?
Yeah, probably on
Purdue.
the other side. I don't know who's winning that other side.
Purdue or it was
Wisconsin,
Purdue.
maybe.
I think it was Purdue. I think they was, but now that wasn't as of this past weekend. Whoever's leading in that side of the table for the Big Ten. If that was Ohio State and Michigan were East and West, yes, then you could say we got a legit West winner.
Right.
But it's not.
Here we got Big Ten standing.
It's the same thing as like Georgia and Tennessee battling each other, really.
All right, then we got it. We got it right here. Big Ten.
I think Purdue was probably one in the West, I guess.
It's going to be Purdue or Iowa against the winner of this game.
Yeah.
So they probably win that. So whoever, one of these two's in.
Michigan, Ohio State, one of them loses, then they got to play.
Yeah.
The winner has to play them. Now, the loser of that game, I think, will play Bama in a bowl.
Yeah.
The loser of the.
So you're saying LSU upsets Georgia, they put them in?
Yeah, they'll have to. I mean, SEC champ not in. Oh, my God, they would be like, that'd be a riot.
Yeah.
When has the SEC champ not played in the playoffs?
Yeah.
And they lost the first game of the season.
But they still going to have a good argument, though.
They played the only game they lost, really.
And they lost to Tennessee by 4 touchdowns.
That's bad. And then they lost to
Florida State.
Not a good Florida State team. The first
Who's
game of the season.
playing good now.
And that was their first game. New coach, first game. I wouldn't see them keeping them out. If LSU beats Georgia and they put them at 5 and they put in Ohio State and Michigan, oh my God, something bad will happen. That may be what they do to try to push for this 12-team playoff. Try to get people so mad that they want this 12-team playoff to happen. It's got to happen soon because you do know that Sankey said there's not going to be any more of this. There won't be East and West.
Oh, yes, I know. I saw that.
There'll just
Top
be,
2 teams.
It'll just be, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's fixing to go to that.
Yeah.
It's
Top
fixing
2
to happen.
teams.
Well, the conference championship game was a good idea when it came about in, 91, 92, the year when they started doing it in Florida and Bama, and it gave it gave more money. That's what it did. It gave another game.
If they did that this year, you know what? It would be Georgia and Tennessee. Because Tennessee beat LSU. Mm-hmm. It would be Georgia and Tennessee in a rematch. Alabama's 4th. LSU's 3rd. If you just go full, no divisions, it goes Georgia, Tennessee, LSU, Alabama, top 4. So they wouldn't even be in it. Them or LSU. They would not be in the championship.
And you're going to have Texas and Oklahoma mixed in that mess, too, when that happens.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
This weekend.
Let's see what we got.
The best game, one of my favorite games, the Egg Bowl.
I like it. I'm going to pick Ole Miss.
Wolfpack plays North Carolina.
I'll go with North Carolina.
Yeah, they lost this weekend. They're terrible. I've been trying to get people off that burning bus of the Wolfpack all year, and people, they brought back a lot of people, so what? It's not good.
Yeah.
The Gators, Florida State.
I'm picking Florida State. They're playing out of their mind.
Yeah, I agree. LSU at A&M.
We'll go with LSU.
We're not splitting anything. We're agreeing. Tennessee at Vandy. Well, they're PO'd. They're going to beat the tar mess out of Vanderbilt.
Yeah. We're fixing to go different because I'm going to pick Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, USC. Georgia Tech at Georgia.
You didn't even ask me, did you?
South Carolina at Clemson.
God. If South Carolina play, I don't know.
If they play like that, I'm just going to pick them. I don't care.
I'll pick
I'm going
Clemson.
Beamer. I'm going Beamer Bowl.
Nah, I mean, they're playing
Clemson
good.
may smoke them.
They may.
The Ducks at Oregon State. That's the
That's
Civil
a big
War.
one, too. That's a big one.
Bo Nix is hurt and limped
Hurt.
up.
Oregon State's playing it.
I'm going Oregon State. I'm going to go to Beavers.
Okay, I'll go Oregon.
You going to go Oregon? The Spartans versus the
Penn State's
the
playing very
Nittany.
good.
How you say that? Nittany?
Nittany lines.
What is a Nittany?
I don't know what a Nittany
How you spell
line
Nittany?
is.
Nittny?
A-M-Y. Nittany.
What is a Nittany? Does it mean he's neat? Is it a clean? Is it a clean puma?
I don't know.
It looks like a puma.
It does. It does. It don't look like a mean line. Not to me.
Is it like it's the kind of puma that cleans itself after he scarfs down a young child at a picnic? Michigan State at Penn State.
I won't go with Penn State.
Yeah, I would too.
And I won't go with Kansas State.
K-State host Kansas. Who you got?
K-State. I don't think they're playing out of their mind, too.
I'm going to be opposite. I'm going to pick the
You're going to
Jayhawks.
pick the Jayhawks.
Rock Talk Jayhawk.
I said it yesterday as a joke, but I meant it. I said Florida State and K-State's playing better than anybody in the country. They are not, but they are playing good. Both of them.
And the last two games, which I'm probably going to bring these up on the game day at Cherokee County. Be at the Durham Field about 6. Cheer these guys on.
Yeah.
Come down there and celebrate with us. We're going to be special picking judges. We're going to dress accordingly and wear some nice sports jacket. The kids wear suits and ties. They look spiffy.
I got to find me a sports.
They look good. I mean, I can't let them outdress me, man. Where's the fur coat at? Can you find it?
It's at school. I just put that at school, and it was too tight. I may try to find something.
Get something crazy.
Anybody got a fur coat? I'm going to wear something nuts just for that.
Yeah. Anybody
Just
got a
for
fur
that.
coat?
I've probably got a trench jacket at home.
Okay.
I'll wash it.
Okay.
I'll look.
The game everybody's been waiting for, Dean. We got a few people left on there hanging in there with us. Alabama host Auburn Tigers. Thanksgiving week is here, guys. We hope everybody is thankful for their
We'll have to
giving.
pick the Tide at home. I think they're a better team. We know they're a better team.
I just don't. He likes Coach Smith. You just don't pick.
Now, I do think Auburn will give them a battle, though.
If that's the point spread tomorrow, I'm going to be shocked.
And I don't think it will be.
21.5?
No way. They're the hardest
They're
team to pick
nuts.
on the points.
I'm gonna pick this game at 7.5.
Yeah, maybe 10 or 11.
I don't know what game they're watching.
21
Who? And
I'm going with Ohio State because it's at home. That's the only reason.
I'm going to go Michigan.
We got some different picks. We got
go-
4 different ones.
Well,
It's going to be interesting
I'm
to
going to
see.
go
how
khaki pants. That one's different. This one's different. That one's different. And this one's different.
4 of them.
Wait a minute.
5.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
my-
It's going to be interesting.
Season. This is kind of the season ended. We're not going to be on the next week.
So whoever wins this week wins.
This is kind of the end of regular season, pretty much.
Yes,
You're going to
it
have
is.
conference games the next week. Next week we'll be doing this. We'll be talking about LSU Georgia preview.
Yes. LSU, Georgia. What we say the major looks like Ohio State and Michigan or Iowa, possibly.
Yeah, Iowa or
TCU,
Purdue.
Kansas State, Clemson, North Carolina,
Yeah, and that game's going. That's not going to help Clemson at all.
and
North
USC,
Carolina
Oregon. USC, Oregon. No, it would have, but
Tuesday
not
night.
now.
Yeah, you can come back on Tuesday night if you want to, and guys, I'm gonna watch it in here, so I'm gonna cut the camera. I'll cut the laptop on, have the camera just like I did last week, and we'll see what happens. So that's about it. We like Bama, and I like Michigan. Dean likes Ohio State, and the biggest games of the weekend. And we both like Kiffin to cover, and Mike Leach to. He may be hunting a job.
You think so?
I've read some stuff today on Twitter.
I'm gonna get rid of him, huh?
And
Had
there's
a
another
decent year, hadn't he?
Yeah, and there's another coach in Mississippi.
Who?
Well, there's another coach in Mississippi.
Lane Kiffin.
No, he's at the other school. He's already got a job.
Who's the other one?
There's another coach in Mississippi.
I don't know who it is.
There you do. A little bit smaller school.
Southern Miss.
No, that's the right area though. HBCU.
I don't know. Oh.
I mean, I don't know.
What's the name? What's the guy's name?
Deion Sanders.
Oh.
It's Jackson State.
Oh, Historical Black College.
No, I don't know if it's gonna happen.
There's talk of it.
Well, there's a whisper in the corner. There's 2-3 guys talking. It ain't grown a crowd yet, and that's based off some ESPN people talking. So now, and that don't mean nothing. Okay, so let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So if Primetime winds up in the off season, winds up at Mississippi State, and just remember you heard it here first.
Okay. All right.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think he loves being there. He has complete control of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really making a difference in the black community, and that's what he wants to do, and that's great.
Yeah, he is.
And
He
he's man, I mean, the
And
game,
they're good, aren't they?
game day was there. Yeah, I don't think they've lost a game this year.
No.
I don't think they've lost a game.
Let's see.
So we'll see you guys Friday night.
Yeah, we're looking forward to
Bobby
that.
Joe Johnson Field's going to be a little cool. Come out there and have fun with us. We're going to get crazy. We're going to hang out and be wild.
They